It's not often that I get a chance to congratulate somebody like Nadine Dorries, is it, really? But I think her column today, which I've only just managed to pick up, her column today in the Daily Mail is a refreshing and stimulating read, and if you haven't managed to read it, I recommend it. The first part, the main part, is beautifully written, and she's clearly got over writing her letter of resignation. This is just stunning, stunning stuff. An entire piece about why Labour's proposed policy of abandoning or making school uniform unwanted, outlawing school uniform. This is Bridget Phillipson's idea that there will only be three parts of the school uniform that can be branded with the school. I would have my own approach to school uniform, by the way. I worked in Russia, and I was specifically teaching teachers how to teach in primary schools and nursery schools. And there in Russia, they don't have school uniform. But I think there's a lot to recommend it. What would be exceptionally good would be if there were a standardized school uniform, as there used to be in the USSR in Russia. And of course, many of the teachers who were in the teaching course that I was running had taught in the days of the USSR and looked back fondly and showed me films of teaching in the heady days of the 1980s. And it's true, all school children could be identified by their rather ugly uniform. But there's something rather unifying about that uniform, and that's what Nadine Dorries discusses. Today, we have school heads going from one school to another, rebranding the school by proposing an entirely new uniform. I've been in 3 schools where a new uniform has been introduced while I've been there, and it always seems to cause chaos. And I don't quite understand why it's done. And in 2 of those schools, it was the same head teacher who did it. And it seems to be part of his raison d'etre. Let's have a new school uniform. Let's build a gym. And it seems a bit unnecessary. I think what you want with a school uniform is to take away that element of choice and that element of showing off, so that you can enforce parity, so that you can encourage equality. And once you have fashion taking over, it is, as Nadine Dorries points, an endless squabble between children who are very competitive. She then goes off to talk about a sort of midnight flit, I think, and how this ended up with bed bugs, and the coal man helped us to move all our belongings on the back of his flat bed lorry, having found a side hustle to move a family a day. And it sounds a little bit like my old man said, "Follow the van," and it's very human and it's very charming and it's great. And she even gets in a little plea for Prince Harry, and in fact, it's such a nice little plea for Prince Harry. I'm going to read it. I can't help myself, I'm afraid, but when it comes to Prince Harry, I can only view him through the eyes of a mother and worry for him, which is why it was such a relief to see him enjoying himself on Sunday night at Inter Miami's match at Los Angeles as he sat, minus wife Meghan, alongside celebrity guests. That's the Harry we miss. I agree. And what a contrast to the prince who had been caught on camera looking glum indeed at a Beyoncé concert a few nights earlier as Meghan, her mother Doria, and Meghan's friends danced along in their private box. Maybe there's a common denominator here. I don't know. But I think, credit where credit's due. When somebody does something good, they should be called out, just as they should be called out if they've not done something good. But, congratulations. This is the sort of writing that I enjoyed in some of her novels, and this is the sort of thing that I think makes a newspaper entertaining. It doesn't matter what its audience is. This is well-written, readable stuff. Congratulations, Nadine Dorries.